Peace through strength. This video you're seeing here that you're watching was uploaded by the State Department. No, this is not a fan-made video with audio clips of Hegseth and Trump clumped together to make a cool, quote-unquote, and I'm using quotation marks there, military ad campaign. No, this was posted by the State Department just probably not even a month ago. Right now, so peace by strength was the promise, the strengthening of our military service and the strengthening of our military might, which would guarantee that we wouldn't get involved in conflicts around the world. America first, they said. America first. Well, Netanyahu apparently is a great, he can persuade anyone, right? If you're strongly affirmed and held in your beliefs of America first, well, talk to Netanyahu and he'll get you bombing other countries in no time, because that's what Trump has done. Breaking just recently, 3 hours ago, probably by the time I upload this video, around 4 hours ago, Trump has privately approved the attack plans for Iran and has withheld a final order. Now, this is all of this entire conflict is very, very deja vu, if I may say so myself. It is very reminiscent of, what can I say? It's very reminiscent of Iraq, 2003, right? Why is that? Well, of course, first and foremost is the WMD claim. Iran has, if you listen to the Israeli government, Iran has for years been almost at a nuclear weapon. And even U.S. intelligence, from my understanding, has said that Iran was not this close. And the international nuclear watchdog agency that was looking at Iran, yes, Iran may have been breaking rules. That's one thing. It is a whole other thing to say that they were rushing for a nuclear weapon. And that statement made by that agency has been now being used as an excuse for Israel and Iran to go ahead to start their warmongering campaigns. Of course, Israel wants something different from the United States. I believe Israel is ready for regime change. They have their own national interests, and of course that is complete and utter control of pretty much of the Middle East and those that they have subjugated in the expansion of the Israeli state. I believe that to be true. This is not anti-Semitic in a sense. This is the Zionist position that's been held for the longest time. Now, the United States' involvement in this is not popular. This is not a popular thing. No one wants this. Bear in mind, no one wants this. Sorry, I'm going to use this software. No one wants this. That's the thing. That's the wild thing about this. And Trump has promised his base peace out of foreign wars. What he's done with Ukraine. So it makes no sense what he's really done with Ukraine. He's continued to pull out of Ukraine, for his buddy Putin. But here we are when his buddy Netanyahu is screaming that, Iran has nukes, just like Bush was screaming that Iraq had nukes in 2003, WMDs or whatever. We are here at the precipice of another conflict that we're going to be involved in. Does it mean boots on the ground? Does it mean does it mean World War III? No, I'm not going to say that. No, it doesn't. In fact, Russia is so distracted by the Ukraine war. China has I can't perceive that they really have much of an interest in this. Of course, there were some issues I've heard with Pakistan worried about destabilization in the region and such. This wouldn't be the prelude to a global conflict, but this is the prelude to another Middle Eastern endless war that we would be getting ourselves involved in, one that Trump himself has promised. But no. Be warned, Trump's base is not just, this populist right that was always there. He has tons of neocons and warmongers all in there ready, and it's unfortunate. So these plans are approved. This could happen at any moment, and this would be direct involvement of the United States with Iran. Now, Iran does not have an air cannon. Iran, Israel, and the U.S., whatever, in his recent tweet where he said Iran does not have air capabilities that are significant enough, I believe, to prolong some sort of aerial conflict. from my understanding, and it seems to be true if you look at footage between what's going on in Israel when they launch their missiles and what's going on in Tehran, Israel is winning this aerial conflict. And it's a question of how long such a campaign would last. If Iran was to march any type of soldiers through Iraq, or they'd be quite vulnerable. If there's not much that Iran can do at this time, and they've been holding steady that they're not going to surrender. And as such, I would truly wonder what kind of campaign this would be and what kind of involvement U.S. would have. But death and destruction for anyone is horrible. Those living in Tehran don't deserve this, and I don't want to mispronounce anything, but the other Iranian cities and civilians there, 90-something million people, don't deserve this conflict. I'm not saying great things about the Iranian regime. I'm not saying, but when has democracy ever come through bombing other people? When has it ever come through bombs? And I'm afraid that I have not witnessed a historical case where that has truly worked out. Well, perhaps that's wrong. Someone could correct me and say World War II and such, but it's a rarity that it happens, and I'm afraid that we are stepping on the precipice of another forever Middle Eastern war. And there's again something very similar about these places too, the prevalence of oil and energy and things like that. So you question deja vu about what's going on now and what was in the past. So either way, we're going to see how this plays out. Thank you all. Bye.